So are you also extracting the details from licensing agreements manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to use an AI to extract licensing agreements data from PDFs to Google Sheets. So over here, like you, I also used to extract the details from licensing agreements manually. But this is such a time consuming and a tedious task, and also error prone. So to save me some time and solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add my file, which is the licensing agreement, into my Google Drive, automatically my AI agent is going to extract the details from that same agreement, and further we can add that details into the Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Drive, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, and then Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So today I'll guide you through setting up an AI agent that extracts the data from a licensing agreement in PDF format and add the details into the Google Sheets. So no more manual review. This automation helps you stay organized and saves tons of time. So let's get started. So to get started, we simply have to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect. So to do this, I'm just going to go towards a new tab and search for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by typing pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And after opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And now it is opening my dashboard, and to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here, I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to use AI agent to extract licensing agreements data from PDFs to Google Sheets. And then we're simply going to click on this button which says create. And after clicking on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this, you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select our trigger application. And for my trigger application, I'm just going to select it as Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for it and select it right over here. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new file in specific folder. And now I'm just going to simply click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Drive with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now it is asking me to select my Gmail account with the help of which I want to connect my Google Drive. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here. And after selecting my Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. And yes, with this, we have successfully connected our Google Drive account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it is asking me to select the folder. So over here you can see the name of my folder is licensing agreements. So I'm just going to select the same, which is licensing agreements. But now before selecting the folder, you have to keep in mind that the folder should be a shareable one. So what do I mean by shareable one? So over here you have to go towards the folder name, share, and then once again share. And over here here the permissions for this folder should be anyone with the link and editor. It is a really important step, otherwise the AI agent will not be able to read your document. Alright, so as you can see that I've already kept the permission as anyone with the link and editor only. So you have to keep in mind that this should be done prior starting with this automation. So as you can see that now after selecting the folder, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just let you know that Google Drive is a pooling based application. So pooling based application means that this application will not check for new data instantly. It is going to take some amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of Google Drive, it is going to take 10 minutes to check for new data and trigger this workflow. So what is going to happen is that whenever I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Google Drive account. So first we have to do the test submission, and then only we are going to click on this save and send test request. So I'm just going to open my Google Drive and I'm just going to upload a file right over here. For that, I'm just going to go towards this new file upload right over here, and now I'm just going to upload this licensing agreement right over here. And now after uploading this licensing agreement right over here, with this we have successfully did the test submission, and over here you can see the agreement. All right, so now we're going to move on further. What we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request so that Pabbly can capture the response of this agreement. So yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. You can see all the details which Pabbly has captured. Also you can see the file name is exactly the same. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now what is going to happen is that whenever I'm just going to add a new file in this specific folder which I connected with my workflow, automatically within 10 minutes this workflow is going to get triggered. So now further what I want is I want to use an AI to extract the licensing agreements data. So for that I'm just going to go towards this action and select my action application as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as extract content from PDF/image, and then we are simply going to click on this button which says connect, and now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. Alright, so I'm simply going to go towards this OpenAI API key page to get the API key which I need to enter here. And now after coming over here towards this OpenAI API key page, we have to go towards this create new secret key, and now I'm just going to name my key right over here, which is licensing agreements. And yes, after entering this name, I'm simply going to select the project right over here and click on this create secret key button. And now with this, we have successfully created this secret key. So I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're going to open our workflow and paste this token right over here. And after pasting this API key, we are simply going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the OpenAI model. So I'm simply going to select the OpenAI model as GPT-4o Mini. Now over here, if you wish, you can definitely select any another OpenAI model. Now we are going to move on further. Over here, I'm just going to enter the PDF URL with the help of which I want to extract the details. So alright, I'm just going to attach this URL right over here. But we are not going to add the URL manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Drive as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map the PDF URL right over here. For that, I'm just going to look for web content link in the response of my previous step and map it. You have to keep in mind that you only and only have to map this content link only, not this web view link. Now we're going to move forward. It is asking me for the prompt, so I'm simply going to enter the prompt, which is I want to extract the details from this document. So I'm just going to enter the prompt, and after entering this prompt, we're going to move on forward, and now I'm just going to enter this structured output. Alright, so to enter this structured output, we have to enter a JSON object here. here. But you don't have to worry, we don't have to require any coding or programming language. So without knowing a line of programming or coding language, we are going to generate this JSON schema simply by following this important note. It is saying to generate the structured output JSON, navigate to this URL. Alright, so I'm simply going to go towards this URL right over here. And after coming over here towards this URL, what we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this button which says generate. So we are going to use this AI in order to generate a JSON schema. So it is saying how do you want the model to respond, and we'll generate the JSON schema. So we have to enter the prompt right over here so that we can generate the JSON schema. Alright, so first, what are the details which I want to extract? I want to extract the licenser's name and these details. Alright, so I'm just going to use these same details to enter the prompt. So what we're going to do is first I'm just going to open my notepad, and over here in the notepad we are going to enter the prompt. So what we have to do is we first have to enter the detail which I want to extract. Alright, so I'm just going to enter the detail which is licensor name. Then I have to enter the format of this detail. So it is type of a short text. So I'm just going to enter type of a short text right over here. And now we have to enter the description of the same, which is extract and provide me the full legal name of the licensor company mentioned in the agreement. So as you can see that like this only, I'm just going to enter the prompt for all of the details which I want to extract. So as you can see that I've simply entered the prompt for all of the details which I want to extract, name, address, and all of the details. And now you can also use this same prompt to extract all of these details. I'm simply going to now copy this prompt right from here, and I'm just going to open my structured output and paste it right over here and click on this create. And as soon as we're going to click on this create, automatically the AI is going to generate me the JSON schema without knowing any programming or coding language. And over here you can see the JSON schema has been generated. So over here I'm just going to copy this JSON schema, and then we're going to paste it right over here in the structured output field. And after pasting this right over here, we are going to click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request, what is going to happen is my AI agent is going to extract the details from this agreement and give me the details which I want. Alright, so I'm just going to wait for a few seconds. Still it is extracting me the details. And yes, over here you can see that my AI agent has extracted me the details. You can see the licensor's name, address, licensee name, address. Over here you can see the software product name, license start date, end date, fees, and all the details right over here. So over here I used a license which is a dummy one just to show you this automation. Alright, so as you can see that it has extracted the details exactly the same which I wanted from this PDF. So yes, now we're going to enter these same details into our Google Sheets. And now to enter these details into our Google Sheets, I'm just going to add another action step. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for it and select it right over here. And now we're going to move on further towards our action event. So for my action event, I'm simply going to select it as add a new row and click on this button which says connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account, you can go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now over here it is asking me to select my Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account with the help of which I want to connect my Google Sheets. And after selecting my Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. So over here I'm just going to simply select my spreadsheet in which I want to add the details, which is extracted licensing agreement details. Alright, and then we have to select the sheet which is sheet 1. So as you can see, then after selecting both of these details, we're going to move on forward and map all of these details. I'm just going to map these details from the response of my previous step. So one by one like this, I'm simply going to map all of these details. You also have to map all of these details so that these fields can turn dynamic. So I'm simply going to map all of these details one by one. I'm just going to map the licensee end date right over here. We're going to move on forward. I'm just going to map the fee to right over here. We're going to move on forward. I'm just going to map this monthly royalty. I'm just going to map the rest of the details to one by one. So yes, you can see that like this simply we have to map all of these details. And now after mapping all of these details, what we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this button, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response, that we have successfully added all of these details into our spreadsheet. Alright, so I'm just going to open my Google Sheets right from here, and as you can see, the details have been added. You can see all of these details added right over here, and you can notice that these details are exactly the same which we had right over here in the document. I'm just going to share the document with you, and over here you can see that these details are exactly the same, be it the licensor's name, or you can see the monthly royalty. Over here you can see the term, and over here you can see the details are exactly the same. Yes, over here you can see that with this I've successfully completed this workflow, and I've extracted the details from this document and added it right over here in my spreadsheet, that too without any manual intervention. So yes, this was it for this video, and now what is going to happen is that whenever we add a new file in a Google Drive account, automatically my AI agent is going to extract the details from that file and automatically add that details into our Google Sheets. All of this is going to happen in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. So now go and try this amazing automation for your own business too. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.